that better? Sorry about that. Would think I would have the technical stuff of this whole streaming out. I appreciate your artwork. Sue. Without you, I would have never known. Actually, yeah, that would have been bad. Well, I'm glad we fixed that. I was saying what I was saying earlier was I was saying you're not late. I literally just started streaming when you showed up, so you are a-okay. Excuse me. You were sick? That sucks, dude. It sucks being absolute worst. Uh-oh. Seem to have run into an issue. With one of my VPSs. Gonna have to deal with that after the stream, I guess. What are we doing today? I think what I'm gonna do today is I'm actually gonna try to work on a enhance one of my C# libraries. I created this C# library to talk to the Anthropic API. So I think I'm gonna add some new features or a new feature, or at least start adding. We had been working on React Router, but I think we're gonna take a little break from that tonight to do this instead. I should probably update that Nightbot command. All right, so Anthropic's API has developed like pretty fast. They've added a lot of features recently. I've kind of fallen behind. But one of the features they added is called Citations. So this actually got added at the beginning of the year, so I'm way behind on this. But basically, the idea is that you can provide sources of information in your API requests, like a PDF or a text file. And when Anthropic provides answers back to you, or whatever model you're talking to, you can actually have the model cite where it got its information. So, like in this case, right, you've got a user, they gave a document, then you say citations enabled true. And the responses, yeah, so here's what it looks like. Type, page location, text that was cited, document that was cited, title of the document, page numbers. According to the document, the grass is green. Citation. For streaming responses, we've added a citations delta type that contains a single citation to be added to the citations list on the current text content block. All right. So what I usually do for stuff like this, Artworks uses the paid tool. Sounds amazing. Am I the only one on stream? My phone's now is broke. I think you're the only one here. Well, maybe not. Right now, mine says 9 concurrent viewers, but you're the only one chatting. It is so. Anthropic's API does cost. You do have to sign up for an account and I think put a credit card on file so that you can use it. But their API is great. And they've constantly added new features to it. I've been working with it. They've added a ton of stuff. One of those features that I've been wanting to support and I haven't yet supported it. So I'm going to add a little bit of a, and there's this, surprisingly enough, this C# SDK has actually gotten a few downloads, 1.5 thousand. Not bad. I mean, it's not like great, but it's also not awful. At 1.5. All right, so how do I want to approach this? Let's just make a little bit of a punch list of things we need to do. Make this. Where she is. No wonder I've never heard about it before. You never heard of Anthropic before? Really? Anthropic is like a competitor to OpenAI, basically. They make a family of models under the name of Claude, which you can use. You can use them for free. You can use their chat app for free, just like you do ChatGPT. I mean, you can use it for free. There is like a message limit, but you can use it like Gemini or ChatGPT. They just also have an API if you want to interact with it programmatically. That is pretty good, and so that's what I'm working on is this this SDK that interacts with it programmatically. Artwork shoes. I've heard of Claude but never tried before. Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, I kind of use all the foundation models pretty interchangeably. I kind of go through Gemini, ChatGPT, Claude. I kind of use them all. I have the most experience though working with Claude's API or Anthropic's API. I've used their API for more projects than any other foundation model provider's API. All right, let's talk about this. So we have two things we need to do. So need to support add support for enabling citation in a request. Here's how an example to use the citations messages. So basically, you have this document. On that document, you need to tag citations enable true. Although the thing is, I don't know that I support plain text or custom. I don't think I've added support for this stuff. Have I? It's been a minute since I've worked on this library, so so forgive me as I try to sort out up from down. Artwork Studio Steven should probably pause while entering API key. Unless Steven trusts us. API key is. Yeah, I will. I won't. I'm going to do my best not to leak API key. That is indeed what I'm going to do. So there's different types of content. So here's a document content, like I already have. I do have support for the document already. So I just need to extend that model to have a citations property that looks like this that can be optionally set. Artwork choose. I always hard code my API keys because I never think you hard code like that's wild. You put that in your source code, your API keys? I just even if nobody was gonna ever use my project, I would never do that because I mean you're inevitably gonna push your key somewhere you didn't intend to push it, and that's such a pain in the butt to fix after the fact. I always read my keys in from either environment or configuration files. Incio. I thought GitHub auto removes API keys. I think they do some sort of secret scanning now, because I know they will alert you. Like if you push a key, they will send you an email. I'm pretty sure, like alert you that you might have leaked a key. But still, I don't know. I don't know. I just never put it in my source code. I don't think you should rely on GitHub removing your API keys. You should just not put them in your source code. Especially because every language nowadays makes it trivial to read in environment variables or to have some sort of configuration file. So there's not really a good excuse to put API keys in code. In my opinion. Man, this guy's angry. Why is this guy so angry? Oh, this happened the other day. How did I fix? I don't remember how I fixed it. It has something to do with OmniSharp and how it resolves MS build. I could have sworn I fixed this. Why is it complaining? You guys see all those angry red squiggles? Why it's complaining anymore? Oh, no. Huh. Okay, why are you mad? I don't know why OmniSharp is so upset with me. .NET build. See if this builds. Okay, it builds without issue, so let's now try to... I don't know. Well, maybe that was it. I just needed to build the project. Convert to block scope namespace? No, we're not going to convert to block scope. Our editor. I forget what the name of that file thing. Files. I have not worked on this project since I switched over to NeoVim, so there's a little bit of cleanup. IDE. C# style is what we're. Oh, also I should check out a brand. Check out feature, add citation. Now we're cooking. Ramat Ali, what the hell you're trying to build? I am. Well, actually, I should have pinned that message. You can type "What is bro doing?" What bro doing? But basically, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to add support to this SDK that I built for citations. So if you ever used Anthropic's API, you'll be familiar. If you haven't used Anthropic's API, then you'll be a little lost. Adding topic guy sharp okay. Just type what code zero code is this C#? It is C#. Yep. How does it compare to Go? It's similar. I mean, it's statically typed. It's compiled. I don't know a ton of Go. I've only dabbled in Go. I know C# much better than I know Go. But I think, I mean, in terms of like the fact that they are statically typed compiled languages, right? They're similar. They do error handling or flow control differently. Like Go, right, has this idea of like returning an error. Like you return a result, and then you return an error also, and then it's up to you as the developer to check for an error every time. Whereas C# idiomatic uses exceptions for flow control, although that has become less popular, it seems like, in the last year or two. I guess those are noticeable differences. Content. Your thoughts on budget-friendly Intel Celeron dual core versus quad core for work? I mean, the content creator, my advice would be to try to get the most bang for your buck. Right? So if you can afford a quad core, why not? Right? Don't skip on specs if you don't have to. FT4115, hi, which theme font you're using for VS Code? This isn't VS Code, this is Neovim. But the font is Cascadia Cove. So if you've ever gone to Nerd Fonts, it's nerdfonts.com. It is this one. That's the font I use in my terminal. I use it in VS Code. I use it in my terminal. And that's what you see on the screen. And then the theme is GitHub Dark Dimmed. And I think they have that for VS Code as well. It's this one. I'm pretty sure VS Code has a theme for that. If you install the GitHub themes, I'm pretty sure there's the GitHub themes extension. I'm pretty sure there's a GitHub Dark Dimmed. Mr. Kennedy Freak says, Madman is writing C# in NeoVim. Psychopathic behavior at its peak. Yeah, better yet, I'm writing C# in NeoVim PowerShell on a Windows machine. I bet not very many people have seen that. Content creator, will Visual Studio run smoothly on a Celeron dual core, or will a quad core be better? I mean, I would think a quad core would be better. Like, give me all the cores, give me all the threads. Visual Studio, I'm guessing you're talking about Visual Studio, the purple app, right? Because I get people in chat that confuse the two, right? Like, there's Visual Studio Code and then there's Visual Studio, right? Visual Studio Code is the blue app. That's like what everybody uses. Visual Studio is the kind of proper C# IDE, right? Or .NET IDE that more like enterprisey .NET devs use. Yeah, I would think you'd want all the cores if you're going to run Visual Studio. Visual Studio Code obviously can be lighter weight, heavier weight, depending on how you set it up. But Visual Studio is like the inside of an F-16 or the cockpilot of an F-16. You know, there's lots of bells and whistles in there. Thanks. Yeah, of course, man. Artwork Studios. The amount of time someone said that is crazy, to be honest. Yeah, there's been a lot of people in our chat that have remarked on C# in NeoVim in PowerShell on a Windows machine. There's been lots of chatters who have gotten a big kick out of that. The content creator, Asus or Lenovo? This will be a home station, will not be application. I don't think I've had an Asus. I think I've only had of those two brands. I think I've only had Lenovo. Oh no, I take that back. I have an Asus ZenBook. So either. I've had good luck with both brands. Have at it. Victor, sup? Hello, Victor. How are you? Content creator, new subscriber. Well, I appreciate that, content creator. Very kind of you. Obviously, I don't ever expect anybody to subscribe, but it's appreciated when you do. Ducties, hey, good to see you. Good to see you too, Ducties. Good to see you too. Victor, I'm doing well, man. Got my coffee, got a little bit of code. I've got a problem that we're going to try to somewhat solve, or at the very least, we're going to try to understand what we need to do to solve the problem tonight, or get partially there. So, yeah, man, I'm healthy. Kids are healthy. Nobody's sick. Work's going relatively well. Yeah, man, I can't complain. You know, it's all icing on the cake. Abhishek, try the hackathon. Would be a nice stream if we all can contribute. What hackathon? Abhishek, what are you talking about? Is it a particular hackathon, or are you just saying we should do a hackathon for the channel? Hardware Studios, wow, Steven's PC can handle more than 5 tabs. Well, I mean, for those of you who don't know, I did get a new computer. It has the most RAM of any machine I've ever had. It has 64. I don't know if you guys can see that. Bigger. It has 64 gigabytes of RAM. I'm very proud of it. However, I would like it to have 128 gigs. I'm not a bot. 404. This dude definitely eats corn vertically. Go fuck yourself. I'm not a bot. Get the fuck out of my chat. What time is it? About 8. It is 9:17 p.m. where I'm at. 9:17. Abhishek Kumar. Theo is one of the judges. I don't know what hackathon are you talking about. I would love to. I think the hackathon would be a blast. So, hackathon. Yeah, I'm not sure. I would love to participate, Abhishek, if you can send me a link or point me in the right direction for whatever hackathon you're talking about. I think that would be a ton of fun to participate. Yeah, maybe Abhishek, if you could join my Discord maybe and drop a link in there. Artwork Studios just posted the link to our Discord. Yeah, if you could join there and just point us in the direction. Nightbot does still work. It's just a little slow, I guess. Yep, Nightbot is our friend. We need to add some properties basically to this thing, because all I have right now for document content is I just have the source object. Type cache control. So we basically need to extend add to our punch list. I don't know if you say add property document. Need to add title, context, citation. Title and context. Although I don't know. I mean, these didn't used to be required. You didn't used to have to provide these. So I think these should be optional things, right, that are optionally provided. And citations need to be an object. I don't know, what do we call it? Citations option, citation. Yeah, I don't know. Something. Model. Okay, so that's the first thing we need to do. That's how you enable documents to be cited in. So if you don't have this information present, you can't cite your document. Oh, this is good to call out here too. Currently, citations must be enabled on all or none of the documents within a request. Only text citations are currently supported. Image citations are not yet possible. It's fine. I'm reading for a second here too. Abhishek completed the sign up form for Discord. Okay, we'll let you in. No problemo. Disapproved you, man. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind just dropping us a link in there to the hackathon you're talking about. I am not a bot. C# or Java? It's C#. But you're also the guy that says I eat bananas vertically, so I don't really know if I should like answer your question. Hello, Pablo. How are you? We're taking a break from React Router tonight. Heads up. Oh, this is a Bolt hackathon. Isn't Bolt an AI editor or something like that? Yeah, this is okay. You have 24 days. This is what drop the link in journal. Thank you, Abhishek. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. That's not a your name problem. That's a Steven problem. Pablo, everything is good. Nice. Back to the bot. No, we're looking at adding support for. Looking at adding support for a particular feature in the Anthropic API to my SDK that's out on NuGet. Code assembly or nothing, you vertical corn eater. Hey, I'm a bot. Go fuck yourself, okay? How many times I need to tell you that? Follow Z. I don't know who that is, Victor. But if it's someone I should be following, I'm happy to check them out. Yeah, but their rule says you can use it to create the starter code and what are the rules? Oh, Jason Calcanis is one of the judges, and Peter Levels is a judge. Nice. Oh, there's a lot, and there's Theo. Dang, there's Evan Yu's a judge. This is a huge hackathon. Every time I see this guy, I know this guy's a Google engineer, but every time I see his LinkedIn profile, I always think it's AI generated. Okay, so what are the rules? Register. World's largest hackathon presented by Bolt. Build with AI for a shot at some lesson prizes. Look how many people have registered. 6,000 people. Okay, requirements. What to create? Build a new application primarily with Bolt.new. Start building your app on or after May 30th. Okay, just we're only 5 days behind or 6 days behind. Your app can be built completely with Bolt.new or significantly started or built on Bolt.new. Just be sure the publicly deployed version and badge that highlights that it was built with .new. Guidance. You just have to have that on your whatever you deploy. Okay. Be eligible for challenge prizes. Your project must also meet the relevant challenge. Make more money challenge, custom domain challenge, blockchain challenge, conversational AI video challenge. That sounds kind of interesting. I mean, what would be a good idea for this? I don't know what I'd do for it. Artworks used, to be honest, the only assembly that's stable enough for me is bootloader assembly. I have no idea I had no idea there's different assembly. Victor Zax Tech Turf. Zax Tech Turf. Oh wow, he has 1.4 million subscribers. Oh, and he's live right now. Sorry, almost blew your ears out. So I guess he just makes tech videos, like hardware videos type stuff. Yeah, lots of PC videos. Wow, he definitely has a niche there, huh? Okay, I'll give him a subscribe. Thirsty Thursdays. Funny. I'll give him a watch Victor. Thanks for sending him my way. Their sponsors are crazy. They really are. I mean, it's huge. The sponsors, the judges, they've got a ton of people involved in this. Supabase, AWS, Netlify. Yeah, somebody went through a lot of effort to coordinate all this. Abhish Kumar, even I am stuck with what to build. Yeah, I mean, this is actually looks like a lot of fun. Like, it makes me want to drop everything I had in mind to work on and do this. So I've never used Bolt.new. Is Bolt.new hard to get going with? Try Bolt. Oh, this is literally like lovable. Yeah, I think Pablo was saying that this is like lovable, huh? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what would we want to build? This probably needs to be a web app. Make it easy to deploy. Um, we could definitely get their custom domain challenge. I don't know what the heck entry is, but we could figure that out. Something with the conversational AI video might be fun. Bring real-time AI video agents to your Bolt.new app. I don't know what this is. Tavis? OS for human AI interaction. Oh, so this is AI generated. Okay. I was confused. Like, what are you showing me here? Hmm. Pablo, nah, it's AI plus code editor. Okay, fair enough. Artwork Studio says, "Wow, we are watching a live stream of someone watching a live stream, getting real meta up in here. Real meta." What's the max participants per team? I don't know if they said that. I don't think they put a max. They? Yeah, it doesn't look like they have a. The hackathon is open to individuals who are at least the age of majority where they reside. Teams of eligible individuals. An eligible individual may join more than one team or organization. Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's a max. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really stumped on the what I would build. I don't know what I would build. Like even though this looks cool, I'm not sure what would I build like a an AI video chat around. Yeah, it looked like you needed to be at least 18 plus. Yeah. Here's the link for those that are interested. Here's the link. Hey, sorry, Sanjay. I meant to say hi to you, man. I saw your post. I saw the messages you left, and I just missed them. My bad, man. My bad. I didn't mean to ignore you. O'Brien, no max participants per team, and I believe you can have multiple entries. Yeah, that from reading the rules, that's what it sounded like to me too, O'Brien. Let's see. Abhishek says, "How about you recruit people from Discord to collaborate? That might be fun. I just don't know what to build. Like even if I was to recruit a bunch of people or to get people from Discord to work on something, I don't know what to work on. Use 11 Labs to make your Bolt.new app conversational. I don't know anything about blockchain. Team can brainstorm, yeah. Yeah, I mean we could start a channel around it. See. I just hate to register if I'm not actually going to submit an entry. You know what I mean? Sanjay, we have a chapter about Python in our class. Nice, very cool. Yeah, Python is an okay language. Not a big Python guy myself at the moment. I know Python. I can write Python. I don't know. I'll sleep on this, Abhishek. I think I posted in the Discord just to see if anybody else is interested, we can start a channel. We can start a channel around it. But I'll sleep on it tonight. Maybe an idea will come to mind. My subconscious brain will probably. I disagree with team from Discord. Yeah, I don't know. Group projects are always tough, you know. But if people want to do something in a group, I don't object to it, you know. People want to self-organize. I think it'd be kind of interesting to see how people use Bolt.new as a team. I mean, I've never really used this before, so I'd be interested to kind of see how this works. Teams should be people with common interests, different skill sets, ideally hard to pick random people and make that work. Yeah, I mean, this is this is most definitely a thing, right? O'Brien, the bummer for me was that it has to be built and run in Bolt. I've always used Bolt to start it and then move over to Cursor. Oh, interesting. Okay, I never use Bolt, so I don't even know if I should be bummed about that restriction. That's probably step number one for me is to try Bolt. Excuse me. O'Brien, you have to be good. You have to give good, direct, clear prompts for it to not run in circles on you. Oh, so is there any editor in Bolt, O'Brien? Or is it like purely prompt driven? Because if it's only prompt driven, I'm not interested. See you, Sanjay. Pablo, but idea's biggest hurdle. Yeah, the idea's the toughest, right? Or an idea that you feel is novel enough, right? Or that is interesting enough that you actually want to build it, right? Like definitely could come up with an idea, right? It's just does it make you interested enough to want to do something with it? Have to somehow create something unique and better than everyone else. Yeah, exactly. And I guess for me, it's probably less about unique and better and more just about does it pique my interest of all the other things I could do with my free time, right? Of all the other things I could learn or build or figure out, right? Do I want to spend my free time doing that? O'Brien, there is an editor, but you lose the VS Code shortcuts and everything we love about an IDE. Yeah, that's painful. That is painful. You can go back and forth between cursor and bolt. Yeah, and then they did say that in the docs. They did say it just needs to be run in bolt at the end of the day. And there was some language about like trying to use bolt as much as possible, but it sounded like if you wanted to, right, you could take it somewhere else. Maybe an AI agent that is so realistic that people forget it's AI. So Artwork Studios, you're saying make AGI for the hackathon. That's pretty funny. Yeah, my brain has been completely distracted from what I originally set out to do on stream, and now um I'm thinking about Also, can we just say like how much do you think this URL cost? There's no way this wasn't there's no way that URL wasn't already taken, right? Somebody paid a pretty penny for that domain. Actually, I guess if you connect to GitHub, you could just push and pull. Yeah, I wonder if you could. Yeah, exactly. I'm wondering if, like, kind of what Pablo was getting at, if you could start it in bolt.dev, push it to GitHub, pull it down locally, use whatever things you want locally, push it back to GitHub, sync it back into Bolt. Pablo, if that was possible, you would be using it by now. Yeah. The one thing I will say, the one thing that has me interested is the conversational using 11 Labs. I've never used 11 Labs, but I've heard lots of cool things about 11 Labs. The problem is though, when you think about these two things, right? What are you gonna do with it? What are you gonna do with it that's different than just talking to Gemini? I don't know, right? Like, but I mean, I guess your app could do something, and you're just enabling users to use it through a voice-like interface. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't have a good video plus voice plus. Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of a good use case at the moment, right? Like, because everything that's coming to mind is like a calendar assistant, project manager. Um, no, it's all tried and true. About an AI agent for commerce website just using. By the way, you can Android app or Chrome. Yeah, I think I would probably stick to just a web app though. Just there's probably enough new things that I would need to learn. I'll just stick with the web platform. So, Abhishek, your idea would be like, hey Jarvis, please purchase me a new Lenovo laptop from Amazon, right? Or hey Jarvis, purchase me a new Lenovo laptop from Walmart, something like that. I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but I don't buy anything through voice, right? Like I want to look up what I'm gonna purchase and make sure when I click buy now, I'm actually buying the right thing. Hardware Studios. Oh wait, we can make Jarvis. No, no, we're not. I'm not saying we make Jarvis. I'm just saying that type of experience is what Abhishek was getting at. Abhishek has totally nerd sniped me though. I don't know if you guys are picking up on that, but I sit down to figure out citations, and now Abhishek has me thinking about trying to build something for this hackathon. What's entry? Anybody know what this is? I don't know what this is. So it's a APIs for domain. One integration, 50 DNS providers. Oh yeah, so they just They basically are sort of like a common abstraction layer for all these different domain providers. You can interact with them programmatically. Huh. I'm guessing bolt.dev has some sort of, they have an integration, I'm guessing, with Intri that allows you to do it. Hmm. I have an idea. I have an idea. We're going to use AI, come up with an idea to build that incorporates AI. Given the following hackathon challenge, what would be a good app? I know I'm an expert prompter. Abhishek, Dungeons and Dragons. Pablo, artwork dreams big. Artwork does dream big, and I like it. Pablo, going meta. Yes, we are going meta. Dungeons and Dragons is interesting. That's actually super interesting. My wife plays Dungeons and Dragons, so I honestly be kind of interested to pick her brain if there's something. Okay, here's an idea. Depending on what comes out of Gemini here, as it sits and thinks here. Here's an idea. Okay, so one of the issues that I hear about in my wife's Dungeons and Dragons world is you have a team that gets together to do a campaign. Let's say you have 6 players. Um, but it's also really hard for 6 adults to always coordinate schedules. So sometimes somebody can't be at the game, like physically at the game to participate. What if you had an AI version of your person, your character in the campaign that could stand in for you, right? That could basically had the context of the campaign, had the context of your character, even had like a little avatar that could appear on screen. Um, and like they're like your stand-in. You send them instead of you. Abhishek, that sounds cool. Yeah, I don't honestly know. I don't honestly know. Like Pablo says, so you start replacing them with AI. Yeah, basically. Uh, gosh, W wife. Yes, my wife is awesome. The wonderful lady. Hopeful case. Is CS still worth it? Would you recommend it to someone who never did it before? I didn't do computer science, so my degree's in biochemistry. Um, my opinion is, though, if you're interested in computer science or want to do something like that, pursue it, man. I know there's all this hype around like the AI, the great AI replacement, but I think that the people who are hyping that far overestimate how quickly the world moves. So I think there's going to be a pretty long tail of needing people who know computer science, who know programming, who know networking, who want to do that kind of work. I think there's going to be a very big long tail um, for that. So I don't think you should be discouraged. If that's something you want to pursue and are interested in, you should full send. be honest, can use AI as a game master. You could, but I mean, I guess you don't want, in my idea, it's not that you're trying to have AI replace the need for people, because I think that's part of the fun of Dungeons and Dragons in person, right? That's part of the fun, is like your friends getting to participate in that imaginative storytelling. But I know it probably sucks for members of a campaign if you have multiple weeks where you can't get all 5 or all 6 of you in order to advance the campaign. And so this would be a way for you to say, hey, I'm really sorry I can't make it tonight, but my character can still participate, and my character will have all the context of previous games, and it will retain the context of the game that you guys play tonight. And then when I come back, I'll just be able to hop back in wherever you left off. It sounds kind of difficult, though. I'm not really sure if the I'm not really sure how difficult that would be to actually implement. I don't know. That's just one idea. Let's see what Gemini has to say, huh? Pablo, when we played on a party, the dungeon often separated the party and came back later, messed up. Penalty for missing the meeting. Yeah. I think that's kind of what my wife's group does, or they just have someone play for that person. Make an AI with memory learning, aka neural. Well, I don't think you need. I don't think you're. I mean, you just probably use something like RAG or a super big long context window or something. Probably wouldn't want to go into the process of trying to recreate a model or something like that. Hopeful case. So what if someone's in it for money? Thanks for the previous answer. Um, I think if you're in if you're in it for money, man, yeah, if your goal is to make the most money possible, I don't really think computer science is necessarily the answer. You know, I mean, can you make good money pursuing computer science? For sure, but you can make good money in sales. You can make good money in lots of different professions. Be an electrician, be a plumber, pick a trade, own your own business, right? Um, so if money's your goal, I don't even think I don't even think computer science matters as like the domain. Um, if I was talking to you like you were my sons, I have 2 kids, I have 2 boys. But if I was talking to them about this, what I would tell them is you should do something that you're interested in. You should try to find the largest amount of overlap between something you're good at, something you're interested in, and something the world is willing to pay you to do. And if you can maximize overlap between those 3 kind of overlapping circles, that will maximize your ability to make money, because people are willing to pay it for you. You're good at it, and you have an interest in it. It means you'll work really hard at it, be really good at it, because you'll be willing to put in the time that it takes to be good at anything. So that's what I would probably think about if you're kind of deciding on like, what should I do when I grow up, or how should I plan my future? Those are the things I would think about. Artwork studios. How do you even eat corn vertically? It sounds painful. Yeah, I think that guy was trying to get at something other than eating corn without saying it. If I had to build a DM, I'd build agents for events, locations, characters, enemies, and stories. We want to be able to consult the current state of the round as well. Memory is basically telling the tool to store value, and then eat it, the tool will retrieve it based on context. Yeah, that sounds right, Pablo, to me too. Your approach there. Abhishek, how about an app for live streamers, which keeps track of which messages they have verbally responded to and highlights relevant messages? Kind of interesting. Like you'd integrate. Yeah, I think, but like, how many people actually stream? Not very many. Demoing that might be kind of odd. Not a bad idea though. Let's see. Top recommendation: local intellect. An AI-powered data analyst for small business owners. It connects to their sales data, allows them to ask complex questions in plain English to get immediate, actionable insights. Yeah, but the problem I have with this idea, like the problem I have with this idea right here is like that's just Google Gemini connected to your G Drive. No? And I don't know enough about Square and I don't know enough about Shopify to know how to integrate. How much what's the timeline for this thing? When do you have to submit this? 1 month. So you have till June 30th. So you literally have 25 days to build all this. I don't know. This strikes me as just not super differentiated. An app to see if selected Steam games are on discount. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know where I would slot in AI into that. Microsoft Teams D&D, Zoom call D&D. Yeah, maybe. Hopeful case. Thank you so much for that. I might go mechanical or electrical, probably mech. Yeah, I mean, I'd pursue the degree, pursue the thing that you're interested in. If you're interested in it, people pay you for it. If you're interested in it, that means you'll do it a lot and you'll get good at it. And then maybe you'll be the best in your field at it, or at least relatively one of the better people in your field for it. So therefore, you should make more money at it. Artwork Studios is performing Q&A on our on on our Nightbot commands. Thank you, Artwork Studios. Let's see. Grant Compass, the elevator pitch, an AI-powered platform that helps nonprofits and researchers discover and draft grant proposals, matches an organization's mission and programs with available grants, assists in writing the initial application drafts. That's actually pretty interesting. That's like differentiated for sure. So a nonprofit uploads its mission statement, program details, and financial needs. AI constantly scours public and private grant databases to find perfect matches. When a good match is found, it can auto-generate a first-round draft of the grant proposal using the nonprofit's information tailored to the specific grant's requirements. Yeah, so I don't know where would you get the grant data? That's the one thing. Where would you find? Yeah, I don't know. That's the open question I have on that one. But I like the idea. Creator Copilot, an AI-powered pre-production assistant for content creators, takes a simple video idea, generates a complete production plan including script outline, shot list, and talking points, all optimized for audience. a hook to grab viewers in the first 15 seconds. Structured script outline. This isn't bad either. Kind of like this idea. Oh, Gemini had better ideas than I think I had. Rohith, is this the free version of Gemini Advanced? No, this is paid. I pay for Gemini. I had an existing Google subscription, a Google One subscription, and so then when I saw that you could get the Gemini Pro for $10 more a month, I was like, I'm already giving Google $10. What's another $10 top of it? Voter fund. Putting quality over money will get you more customers. Get more money. Yeah, I just think if you're better at what you do, right? There's more likely you'll be able to demand a higher price. Probably add the command language so people will stop asking what language. Yeah, but my languages change all the time, right? Like sometimes I'm writing JavaScript, TypeScript, C#. I'd rather just point to the editor, be like, hey, I'm writing C#. Why does the everyday person think that AI is going to take over the world? If that's the case, then somebody has to reach out to John Connor. I don't think that the everyday person thinks that AI is going to take over the world. And here's an example. Like, I always use my mom as a good barometer of where something is in the adoption cycle, because my mom is not an early adopter, right? She is much more like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this diagram before. We used to talk about this diagram a lot in my old job, when we were developing new products. When I worked as a food scientist. If I can find a good picture of it. But basically, there's this idea. It's kind of hard to see, but basically, there's this idea that you have people who are very early in the adoption cycle, and then you have equal number of people who are also like late adopters, and then for as many innovators or early adopters, you have some laggards. And so like my mom is kind of more of on the right side of this life cycle phase. So I always know, like, if my mom isn't talking about not AGI, about generative AI every day and how it's changing the way she works and how the people around her work, I know that we're still very early in the adoption cycle, right? So when I hear people like Dario Amodei say, when I hear people like him say 50% of entry-level office jobs are going to be gone in 5 years, I mean, the guy's brilliant. He obviously knows a lot about what he does. Obviously very smart. He has a PhD in physics. But I just think that grossly overestimates how fast the world moves. Like, the world is much, much slower in the way it adopts things than what people in the tech bubble like to think. So I don't think that the everyday person thinks that AI is going to take over the world. I think the everyday person is thinking about what they're making for dinner that evening, how they're going to maintain their job, the price of grocery, raising their kids, trying to keep their head above water, paying their car payment. That's what the everyday person's worried about. They're not thinking about, like, oh my gosh, here comes generative AI to revolutionize the way everything is done in the world. It's just you're so people. That's just so far from reality. Artwork shows who's John Connor. You need to go watch The Terminator. Abhishek, how about a better Vim tutor? So what you're saying is we need someone that like watches over my shoulder and yells at me. You're typing J too many times in a row, something like that. What's up, Toad Stage? How are you? Good to see you, man. Yes, we are. Yes, we are sidetracked. The original point of the stream was to try to work on this Anthropic C# SDK. We have done none of that. Done none of that. So we basically we mostly Toad Sage. We've mostly been talking about this hackathon that I guess is a really big deal. So we've been talking about should we enter this, and if we did enter this, what would we submit? That's main. That's been the majority of the stream. Vantax, hey Steven. What's up, Vantax? How are you? First time in my chat. I don't recognize your user profile picture. Terminator, heard before, but Netflix doesn't have it. Yeah, I don't know where you could watch Terminator, but yeah, that's where John Connor comes from. Terminator series. Abhishek, I am the reason. Yes, we can all blame Abhishek for derailing the stream. Code Sage just suffering from front end issues. Yeah, front end. CSS. Code Sage. Oh, is it remote? Yeah, it's remote. Yeah, I'll put. It's actually the website is like I bet someone paid a lot of money for it. It's just hackathon.dev. The website. I typed that wrong. No, I typed that right. Hackathon.dev. That's the website for it. You have to use a tool called bolt.dev, which is like an AI powered editor. I guess kind of like Lovable, if you've heard of Lovable. I've never used it before. Vanta X. Yeah, first time. Nice. Well, thanks for stopping by and saying hi. Appreciate having you. Musical World 3. Hello. So you're Musical World 3. You're not Musical World 2. Musical World 1. Artwork Shoes. I've never used a backend before because I don't have money to get a server. Artwork Shoes, you should check out Oracle. Oracle has a very generous free tier. It's kind of a pain to get set up. You kind of have to wait for capacity available in their different regions, but they have a pretty generous free tier if you can get it. Front end. I hate you, UI designers. Well, I think that's less of a problem with the front end and more of a problem with the designer. Like I think the best UI designers push they push the status quo, but they also have an understanding of the level of difficulty to implement things. Right? They understand how tricky CSS animations. They understand how tricky, like they understand the complexity, right, of actually doing web development. I think those are the best UX designers, in my opinion. Peapot. Hi. Hello, Peapot. I think I'm saying your name right. I honestly don't know. Our workshoes Discord. Oh, the hackathon link? It's already there. Abhishek already put it in Discord in the general channel. Artwork Studios. Fanta X. Is the hackathon site about coding or actually hacking? It's about coding. So the idea is you build a project using bolt.new or bolt.dev, and you submit your project. It's not about hacking in like the canonical sense of the word. It's hacking in terms of like hacking on a project. Our worksheet. The server. Oh, the server. The server. Oracle. Oracle. I'm gonna put that in the coding our work studios. Also, what's your? I don't remember what your. But they have a pretty generous free tier. In my opinion, it's generous. It's more generous than what you'll get on GCP, AWS. Not the design who are actually good. I'm specifically mentioning Gen Z designer man. Their work looks good but can't be coded. Oh yeah. Well, that's just bad. That's not. If that's like, if you conceptualize a business idea that violates the laws of physics, right? Like that's a problem. And so same goes for you for web designers. If a web designer makes a design that can't be implemented with the existing front end technology, then that's a problem with them. Circle sounds good. Last time I couldn't set it up. Can you make a tutorial video channel? Yeah, I could probably do that. At least walking through the steps, because when I did it, I had to wait like months. I had to wait like 2 or 3 months to create the VPS, because every time I tried to create it, it would say that the region is out of capacity. So you sort of have to like constantly keep trying to create a VPS in a region, and then hope you get lucky. And I think they do that because obviously like you're a free tier customer, so I think they give you like the lowest priority to provision an instance. It is what it is. The irony is I come under maybe my specific skill issue. I'll provide more context. I get what you're saying. I guess it depends on what you want to say. Is it a skill issue or is it a design issue? Basically, I got the Figma from a individual client. Oh, this is for your freelance work, Toadsage? Abhishek, gotta go, Steven. Found an idea. I would personally love to collaborate. Yeah, for sure, I will. I'll think about it some more if I come up with anything. It's a good thing for your subconscious brain to work on while you're sleeping. You know? I have rage deleted to time the whole thing. The Artwork Studios. Yeah, that's tough, man. That's tough. I don't envy your situation. I guess that's probably where you need to have a conversation with your client, you know, and say, "Look, the Figma you gave me is a little wild, a little wild." Okay, so I think I also need to add support for other sources. Because right now I only supporting PDFs. Or not PDFs, I'm only supporting base64. X document. Add custom document. Then I need to add the support for citation, for a list of citation responses. This is all for non-stream. Property X on. I think that's a mod. So here I need to support citation. Typically, I need to add citation property. Add my list is so ugly. Like terribly, terribly. I hate that. I hate that it looks, but it's fine for now. It's fine for now. I just get distracted with that. Pablo said skill issue. Fine. I like having a product having modern things, asks on multiple things. By design, I can at his targeting. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just feel like if you get a design from somebody, whether it's a skill issue on your part or not, I feel like there's probably a conversation to be had, right? About like expectations and making expectations thing as early as possible in the project, like waving a red flag and being like, "Hey, I don't know about this, man." um, yeah. I'm all in my mind, over communicating early in a project is always the safest bet. Just need to add a citation. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of exploratory request to make sure I understand all of this, but I think I have a good grasp of it. I just need it to go in and start writing some tests and writing the updating the models, adding the models to model all this new data. This is kind of my workflow when it comes to something like this, though. Is like I want to understand the documentation a little bit. I kind of want to map out what things I need to do, and then start implementing. Also, Pablo, also if you really need to up your CSS game, you should charge. That's a good idea. Go, no, this is way more expensive than what we had originally discussed. Yeah, I think that's definitely like there's a conversation to be had there of like this is way beyond the scope. Vanta X. I want to get into more web dev side of things. I know Python from my cybersecurity career, but I'm just curious, would you recommend learning a different language for web dev? I was thinking of either Java or C++. Vanta, if you're interested in getting to web development, I would learn JavaScript, which should actually be pretty easy for you if you already know Python. JavaScript is a dynamically typed, interpreted language, just like Python. But the reason I say learn JavaScript is because that's the native language of the browser. There's lots of good frameworks and lots of good tooling around JavaScript front ends, JavaScript back ends, full stack solution. That's probably what I would do. I would try to learn JavaScript because if you already know Python, you don't really need to learn another back-end oriented language, right? If you already know Python, you don't necessarily need to go and learn Java or C++ or C# or something. You really just need to learn the front-end language, right? I would start with JavaScript. Although, I don't know if you've heard of this, there is a project called PyScript that lets you write Python in the browser. So if you already know Python, you could also use PyScript to build stuff in the browser. I to be honest, I haven't used it. I just know it exists. Pablo, I was gonna ask if you weren't planning to do Postman Anthrop. Yeah, that's what I will do. That's 100%. That's where I'll start, Pablo. I will start with making some Postman requests, and then what I'll do is um I will write some end-to-end tests, like smoke tests that kind of replicate those Postman requests, and then I'll start developing against that. What I'll do. I don't think that's gonna happen tonight though, because I've been here for an hour and 45 minutes, and I really haven't written any code. But we do have a plan. We have a plan of action. We have a plan of action. We just need to actually sit down and do the action. The second Buddha. Man, I like you. What's your name? Shrek? No, my name is Steven. Second Buddha. Also nice username. I always like to go to Chatter's channels. Fanta. Okay, sweet. I was just curious because I haven't done really any web dev. I didn't know if there was one that had a major advantage for dev. Yeah, I would start with JavaScript. I think that's the major advantage there is that you know you know JavaScript, which is the that is the language of the client in web dev world. And so once you know JavaScript, you can build whatever you want on the front end, and you already know Python, so you can build whatever you need on the back end. Now you're off and running. That's where I would start. And a great resource for that is Free Code Camp. Let me get you that link. Free Code Camp has a really good web developer curriculum, I think. That'd be a good place to start. Obviously like too with like web development, you got to know CSS, you got to know HTML, right? So sort of inevitably have to learn those JavaScript, CSS, sort of need to know all three of those. Toad says, "Do you have channel art?" I'm not sure what you mean. Account do a Claude Pro. It can build complete start template with front end and back end functionality. I've not tried. I've not tried Claude Pro. I guess Are you talking about Claude Code? There's sort of an agentic solution. I mean, the thing is, I don't know. I don't know. The whole thing about like these tools being able to build a starter template. I mean, that's great. It saves you from writing some boilerplate, but like if you know what you're doing, bootstrapping up a template is not that hard, right? Like npx create latest, right? It's like I don't know. It's just like that kind of stuff already exists today. You don't need an agentic AI editor to scrap your project. Oh, I'm getting sleepy. Artwork shoes. Have you seen my channel? I think I've looked at your channel before. I can go to it right now. Now I've seen your channel, man. I've been to your YouTube channel. Actually, I don't think I had looked at it before. Account duo. I wonder how it will be. I don't know. I don't know how much different it will be. I think I think it will just be developers seeing additional like I th- I I don't think it's going to be a world without developers. I do think it's going to be a world where more people are writing code, more people are building things. Um, I think it's going to be a world where developers are more productive. That productivity probably is going to come through AI powered tools, but I don't think that's just developers. I think that's every profession. I think every knowledge profession is going to look like that. If you're a writer, if you're an accountant, if you're a lawyer, if your job has some sort of knowledge component to it, uh, I think the future for almost all those professions looks like um, more productivity, more output through the aid of AI tools. That's what I think it looks like. I'll check it out. Thanks. Of course, man. I hopefully that was helpful. Hello, dog man. How are you? Pablo, T3 stack and ready to go. Yeah, exactly. Like I don't think the benefit of these AI tools is in like going from like I think the benefit I still think the biggest benefit of most generative AI is blank page problems going from 0 to 1 rapidly, like 0 to 1 very quickly with an idea. Like I want to implement something, I'm not 100% how I would do it. You show me how you would do it. Yeah, I think still think that's a huge sweet spot. The other sweet spot I think for generative AI is its ability to orchestrate things, right? So its ability to orchestrate things through natural language, right? So you have an AI that has 100 different tools that it can possibly use, and that AI can have a conversation with a human, figure out what tools should use to facilitate or deal with the request that the human is giving it. I still think those are the two sweet spots for LLMs and generative AI in today's world. Artwork Studios, a world without developers is a world without coffee. Absolute chaos. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I do think, I mean, the world definitely is going to look different. Generative AI is definitely impactful and meaningful technology. I've said this 100 times before on stream. I am just somebody who sits very clearly in the middle. I'm not somebody who's used AI one time and was like, wow, this is amazing, and then never touched it again, but just continually go around telling people how life changing it is. I'm also not the person that's like never interact with AI ever. Like, I'm in the middle. I'm somebody who has interacted with a lot of AI tools. I've used a lot of AI in applications or prototypes. So I've seen the good and the bad. I've seen the downfalls and the shortcomings, as well as the benefits. And then at the same time, I'm also someone that just thinks the world moves a whole heck of a lot slower than all the tech bros think. I mean, for years and years, people have been saying we're going to automate manual labor in factories. I'll tell you, there is a lot of manufacturing processes today that are still not automated. They're still done by humans. So I just think it's much more difficult to change things in a meaningful way. It takes longer what anybody would ever give it credit. And granted, I could be proven wrong, but at this point, I don't see it myself. Yeah, figure out a plan is a great use. Also translate this thing. No idea what shape it's in. Something you 100%. Oh, couldn't agree more with Pablo or account. Message you pinned, you spelled here as here. Oh, did I really? Well, I can't fix it now. Antex, got to get back to log analysis. Have a great night, and again, thanks for them. Of course, man. Have fun with your log analysis. That maybe log analysis could be a good use case for AI, assuming your company's okay with you giving your logs to an LLM. Might be handy. There's a tool, an AI powered log analysis. All right, guys. I think I know I didn't really code it all this stream. Just talked a whole heck of a lot about coding something. But I think I'm going to drop. And I think this might be my last stream. We're going to visit family Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Maybe Monday. I'm not really sure when we're coming back. So y'all might not see me streaming for a few days, but I'll be around. Probably post some videos, shorts. But if you want to interact outside of streams, you should join our Discord. There's the link. Otherwise, go to bed. Spend the next 3 or 4 days writing a lot of code. I just won't be doing it on stream. Pablo, oh, catch the last stream. Yeah, you did, man. Say bye properly. Yeah, I'll be back though. Not the last one ever, but the last one at least for the next couple days. While I'm at, we're going back to my hometown. I'm gonna my folks, my wife's folks. Have a good time. Thank you, Pablo. So kind. Pablo is such a good, kind. There's so many of you guys that are good, kind human beings. So I appreciate all of you that come back regularly and don't troll me. See you, Toad Sage. Good luck with your client, man. I really hope you work out the design thing. I know that's probably stressful, so hopefully you guys can have a good, productive conversation about it and come to some sort of shared understanding. Goodbye forever. Rest in peace. All right, guys. See you, Pablo. See you, Artwork Studios. Bye, Toad Sage. See you, Indie Motor Fun. Vanta X, if you're still here. See ya. Bye, Count Dua. Dogman, if you're still here. See you, Dogman. And the rest of you guys, whoever's watching. Hope you guys have a good rest of your, Thursday. Hope you have a great Friday, great Saturday, great Sunday. I'll either be back Sunday or Monday. We'll see.